Hello everyone. I thought I'd do a quick video since I need to set up my Raspberry Pi with DriveWire 4 server. I figured I'd go ahead and record it and show you guys how I set up my Raspberry Pi to run the DriveWire 4 server. So at this point, I'm going to assume that your Raspberry Pi is fully updated and configured, because at this point, I'm not going to do a video on that since there's lots of videos on how to set up the Pi itself. So at this point, I'm just showing how I set up DriveWire 4 server on a Raspberry Pi running Raspbian Wheezy. Alright, so first things first, I will need to log in here. Alright, now at this point, we'll need to install 3 packages. And those 3 packages I will list here as soon as I get them entered. Okay, so the 3 packages that we need to install are librxtx-java, libswt-gtk-3-java, and libswt-cairo-gtk-3-jni. Okay, so I will go ahead and hit enter to start the installation of those modules. And at this point, while everything downloads, I will go ahead and take a short intermission.
Where can you keep up on current news and information about the Color Computer, Dragon, MC10, and other Motorola 6809-based computers? Only one place. The Coco Crew Podcast. Each month, John Linville and Neil Blanchard deliver news, reviews, technical segments, and interviews, all about the Radio Shack, Tandy, Color Computer, and compatibles. It's North America's premier color computer podcast, the Coco Crew Podcast. Visit cococrew.org and start listening today.
Okay, now that the download is complete, and now we can continue. At this point, I need to go ahead and start. Help if I spelled it right. So we need to start X Windows. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is download the DriveWire 4 server. So I will go into my internet. I will start up Firefox. Should work in whatever browser of your choice, if you choose to do this as well. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to go to sites.google.com/site/DriveWire4. Now at this point, I can then go to the download area. And at least as of the time of recording, the version is DriveWire 4, and this release was on 8/25 of 2015. What it will be at the time when you see this, I don't know. So, but I need to download the DriveWire4.zip. And then, of course, at this point, the download will start, and we'll take another intermission while the download completes. Now, I guess after I tell it to start the download. There we go. Alright, I'll be right back as soon as it's done. And welcome back, everyone. Alright, well, as you can see, the download is done. So now we can go ahead and start the actual configuration installation of the DriveWire 4 server. Alright, so at this point, I will go ahead and exit Firefox because I no longer need it. I will go up here and start up a terminal session. Now, I am currently in my Raspberry Pi's account's primary home folder, which is where I want to create the DriveWire 4 directory, which will automatically get created from the zip file. So I will unzip the DriveWire file in the downloads folder. So downloads, DriveWire folder.zip. DriveWire 4.zip. Alright, now if I ls, there's DriveWire 4. So now I need to go into DriveWire to make some configuration changes. The first is need to make the DriveWire 4 UI.sh executable. So chmod plus x DriveWire 4 UI.sh. Then I edit it because I need to change it for how I will be using it. So I will remove the and sign at the end and I will save. Now I will run DriveWire 4 bash script here. Now you'll get some warnings, and then at the end you'll get a error message. I'm not sure why get the error message, because the fact that I have Firefox installed. But at this point it doesn't really matter, because if you just re-enter the command and rerun it, you still get the warnings, but then as you see, DriveWire is up and running. Alright, so the first thing I will do to test it with the Coco 3 is just create a test disk image. So I'll create new disk image. I'll click the 3-dot icon. I will go into the DriveWire 4 folder, and we'll then call this image testdisk.dsk, and I'll click OK, and then I will click create. Alright, and then this icon over here on the left of drive 0, that is your read write icon. Alright. Now we also need to configure this session. So I will use the simple configuration wizard there we go. All right. You can read all this stuff here if you like. When you go through it, if you do, but it's just an introduction to the setup wizard. I will click next. I'm going to be using a Coco 3, so I will select that. Then I'll hit next. And then the RS-232 serial device is on TTY USB 0. So I will select that and then hit next. And then here, I make sure these settings are correct, which it is for the Coco 3. So I'll click next. I don't really need to worry about MIDI since I don't use it, so I'll click next. I don't use a printer either, so I don't need to worry about that, so I'll hit next. And it says it's configured, so I will hit finished. And there we go. Now comes the part where we test it with a real Coco 3. Alright, let's bring in the Coco 3's overlay here. There we go. Alright, so I will be using SDC DOS to test out the DriveWire connection. So let's see here, Drive 2 and Drive 3 are by default mounted to DriveWire. Alright, so you know what? I want to change that. I will mount the virtual drive 0 and 1 as well. So drive 0, virtual drive 0, mount drive 1 as DriveWire drive 0, virtual drive 1. Now if I do drive, there we go. And I will do a test disk ini of drive 0. And if you watch up in the top left corner over here about that disk activity LED, once I hit enter on the Coco 3, that light will turn red. And then once it's done, it should start reading. But I found that SDC DOS doesn't always read back. So far, so good. Alright. And I will go ahead and disk ini drive 1 as well. Alright. Now I can do a dir 0. It shows it's blank. I can do a dir 1. It shows it's blank. Alright, and I will do a quick program, basic program here just to save to one of the drive numbers. So 10 CLS print hello world, and 30 end, and save hello, then dir 0. There we go, dir 1, still empty, and so far it appears to work. So what I will do is I will now reset the Coco and bring up HDB DOS just to test it there. Do a dir, and there's hello there, and I'll do a dir 1, and it appears to work there as well. So that is how I configure my DriveWire 4 server on a Raspberry Pi running Raspbian Wheezy. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed me going through setting up my DriveWire 4 server on my Raspberry Pi and testing it out with my Royal Coco 3. You have a great day, and peace.